Hey guys, how you doing? Today I'm going to talk about web scraping using Python. So before you start your Python, you're gonna have to download and install a Python. The Pythons are free. You can actually download using a web page, using a browser. I guess Google it and just click it. Click over here. The latest version at the time of this recording is 3.8.3. I've already installed Python on my computer, but once you install Python on your computer, you can actually launch the Python command prompt using your DOS command. So if you open your command prompt here and type Python, this is what you should get if your Python is working, right? You can do a simple math like 3 plus 3 should give you a 6. My version is 3.7.4. What's available online right now is 3.8.3. Not much deviation, but it will do the trick do the trick on what we're trying to do today. Once that is done, the next thing that you want to install would be a Beautifulsoup. A quick note here: if you want to get out of the Python command prompt, you can actually press Control pause break. It will come out. Alternatively, if you want to exit the Python command prompt, just type exit and it'll come out. There's two ways to do it, right? So going back to our conversation here, if you want to install, you have to install Beautifulsoup. In order to install Beautifulsoup, uh, you're gonna have to run a command called pip install. Oops, pip install bs4. I've already installed pip bs4 in my computer. That's why it says it's already there, right? So to do a quick test whether your Beautifulsoup has already been installed properly, so what you do is that you type Python on your command prompt again, and you type import bs4. If there's no errors, you're good to go. Okay, so the way I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna leave this command prompt open just to test our command line, and I'm gonna open another text editor on the side here. I'm gonna use something called Sublime. This is a pretty good tool. I like it. You can use a notepad if you want. So I'm gonna save this as give it a new name. Call it a scraper with the extension py. So the web page we'll be scraping will be it's a game site which I think you guys are familiar with called Steam. I like to go in here once in a while to check what's on deal and what's not. So this is the deal for today. But before you scrape any website, you can do a quick check on whether the website can be scraped. So the way to do it is to you copy the URL, only the front section of the URL, and then you go in here and you type robots.txt. So what is shown here is that this is your host name. This is where you're trying to pull a scrape, and this pertains to everything, anybody, anything, any web scraper, right? Anybody. There's no specific name assigned to this. Anybody. You are disallowed to scrape any of these web pages. So for our demonstration, we are using Explorer New, right? So Explorer New is not there. So you are free to scrape, but this is just a demonstration, I guess. So you got to take it with a grain of salt, right? So just be careful on what you're trying to do when you do scraping. But nevertheless, again, like this is a demonstration. So with that being said, I'm gonna park this window on the side here. Okay, the first line of command that you're gonna use would be an import command for BS4. Import your BS4 and also import the BS4 libraries as well. Beautifulsoup SBS. And then after that, so this will actually import your Beautifulsoup libraries. The next thing that you want to do is import libraries to actually create your HTTP client objects. The one that I'm using today would be something called URL lib, this guy here. This is a library that we'll be importing, and the function call that we'll be using is called URL open. So I'm gonna park this on the side here again, and you're gonna say from URL lib request import URL open as URL request urec, right? Now, like I said, you're gonna have to create a HTTP client object. It's basically a browser, opening a browser. So you're gonna say urec, and then you're gonna enter the URL that you're gonna scrape, which is gonna be that. And you're gonna assign as a browser. Just give it a very convenient name. And then you're gonna have to read whatever is being returned back to you from that URL. And you're gonna store it in a variable. And once you're done reading from the browser, you're gonna close the browser like that. And then you're gonna use a Beautifulsoup to parse it into a HTML. And whatever's returned over here. Let me copy it here. HTML parser parser. And once you parse it, you're gonna store it in a variable. Let's say we call it bsoup, just like that. So if you were to take this everything, just do a quick check, make sure all the syntax are kosher and working. Yeah, look good, it's good. So if you type bsoup, right, it'll give you everything, all the HTML source code itself. So this is as good as doing right click here, view source, everything in here, right? So for example, if you were to type bsoup.p, right, it comes up with that. So this is actually from the same source. So if you search for it, it's from here, right? So you can search anything in here, P, H, H1, H2, A, you'll get your feedback, right? So that's how you access it. So the next thing you want to do is to scrape, start scraping, because now you got all the information. So the section that you want to scrape would be this section here, this table here, right? So if you right click this guy here, somewhere close to this guy, maybe here, right click here, and you do inspect. This browser is Chrome. Firefox has a similar kind of architecture for you. So anyway, this one here is actually, you can see the avatar from SpongeBob, right? Note that some of them don't have a discount, and the original price is the only thing that they have. They don't even have a discount price, and some of them are free, right? So you have to take that into consideration when you write the program here in the next few moments. So a typical one would be something that has the original price, discount price, and discount rate, right? So we're gonna try Sim4 because Sim4 seems to be quite promising. Go back a bit more. Yeah, Sim4 is here. Probably the pricings are in here, 50%, and the pricing, and your title is probably here, right? So if you double back here and see where's the closest section that you can potentially pull, I would say it would be here, I think, tab content, copy, right? So tab content will be the one I would pull from first. So I'm gonna park this on the side here. So the way to do it would be to use bsoup, right? So you find. No, you can't use find. You have to use find all because there might be a few different ones there, right? So you want to give you a chance and give yourself a chance that all those are found. Comma class, that one, that tab content, and then you want to whatever comes out of it, you want to store it as a game list. So I'm just going to run it here. Just going to give some space so you can actually see where it breaks. Okay, so you can see this means it's an array. So there's an array of a lot of stuff. So just trying to get to the top of it. Here, right? So you have them. So you go here, you paste it. You can see that it's quite ugly. So we can change it into a more humanely readable format with an external tool called JS Beautifier. Go in here, take the source code, slap it in here, and click this button here, and there you go. Magic. Not quite yet. So it's not colored nicely like our Python here. So the way to change the format would be pressing Control Shift P. This is only applicable for Sublime, right? So you type set HTML and they'll color it nicely for you there. Yes. So looking at it closer here, so you can see that this is you have anchor here for SpongeBob, right? And you have another anchor here for sky, right? And then there's another anchor. So they are differentiated by an anchor, sim4, right? So the best way to do would be to script A with a class name called item tab. Let's do that right now. So going back to your source code here, A class tab, item tab, right? So if you run this, it will do the same thing, except that it will not have game list. It will not have that. It will truncate, I guess, this section here. It will erase this, and it'll be something like that, right? So with that being said, you can actually what you're gonna do next is to actually go in further here and try to scrape the title. You know, let's start with the title. So we have, if you look at, it's a type div, right? And the class name is called tab item name. And if you do a search on it, there's tons of them. There's like a few of them, right? So when you write a command, you have to make sure when you say find all, you will have an array of value that's being returned back to you. So let's go back to your program here. So with that being said, you're gonna have to write a for loop to do the return, and we're gonna give it a new name, new variable name called game detail in game list. And here we're gonna give it a title, call it a title, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we call it a game detail, right? And then you say find all. So it's going to be somewhat similar to this guy here. So I'm not going to type it here, but instead of A, it's going to be div, right? and div, and the name will be, the class name will be that. Class name will be that. Right. So I'm gonna try to output this to a print statement, and it's gonna call the title. And okay, so this one here, we are reading a text that's between these two div, so it's identified as a text. So again, I did say that this is going to be in an array form. I'm just going to read the very first one, and then it's going to be called text, just like that. So I'm expecting to see a whole list of game names for this one here. So I'm just going to copy this guy here and then paste it in here. Oops, let's try it again. Copy in the clipboard, paste it. So it's complaining about indentation, game title, text name, indentation, game detail. Oh, forgot a colon here, sorry. And module tree. Just give me a sec here. So I'm gonna item name is not defined. Tab item name. Let's see. Class div find all details title. Oops. This is supposed to be title. There you go. So they got all the games from the title, right? The next thing that we will be mining would be the original price, the discounted price, and the discounted percentage that you're getting. So, so it's going to go back to this guy here. Let's look for the sim again. Sim or anything that has a discount. Well, this one has it, right? You can actually see it. Here, not this one here. So this is your discount price, and these are your prices, the remaining of the price. So let's put a discount there, final here, and then original price here. So I'm gonna call this a price, or, and then you're gonna call it a price discount, and I'm gonna call it a price discount percentage, just like that. Right. So okay, put it in here. Yeah, this here's a neat little trick that you can do actually. So in Sublime, you can actually hold Control and double click. Sorry, Control and double click the variables, right? And you Control V to paste it. Then you go and on Control this like that, and you type print. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4. Print. Pretty cool tool, eh? And then you go 0.text. I got a feeling that this will give me a problem because some of them don't have a price, right? So let me demonstrate to you. There you go, index R range, right? Perfect. So what you're gonna have to do is that you're gonna have to take into consideration some of the items might not have a price, right? So title is given. Title will have let's call it a P, title will definitely be a title. I'll be surprised if there's no title. So for that, we will do it that way. And for other stuff like say for example the prices, you're gonna have to write if statement. If the length of this guy, right? Not the whole thing, but of that, if your array size is greater than 0, and only then you take the original price and give it a new variable name called p, assign them the value. But prior to that, we'll just say not available, like that, right? So we'll do the same thing for the rest of them as well. Here, put this one into here, and then this one here. Do the same thing over here. Oops. So you have that. Right? That. And then you need this to go here. So this time around, when you run this program, you'll see a whole entourage of information with title, price, and discount percentage, right? Let's look at others that has it. Actually, say title, street rage, you got your original price, and that, right? So it works great. So normally let's output to something more usable, like say Excel spreadsheet, rather than just a, a, a very cryptic, I guess, DOS format there. So in order to do that, you're gonna have to go in here. So you're gonna have to use a simple file format called f open and give it an f name, right? Just give it any name you want. Let's say call it Steam Games, right? Dot CSV, and you're gonna be able to write it. And then in order to write that, let's give it a header, I guess. Right? Call it the first one will be title. Title. These are comma separated, so you have to put a comma in between. IGI, original price, and then sale price, and then discount percentage, something like that. And in order to write that, you go F, write the header. Once you're done writing, oh, I'm sorry, you guys still gonna have to write all the games, I guess. So you go F, write. So you're gonna have the title, and then and you concatenate that with price, and okay, so you concatenate that with discount, first, followed by discount price, and followed by original price. Right? And once you're done writing all that stuff, so you just close that file. Let's see if that works. So we go copy everything from here. So I'm expecting to see a file appearing in this directory here. It's gonna park it on the side here. So we have a bit of problem here. Okay, we have some, this is very typical when it comes to web scraping there, and you have to be aware of it. Sometimes there's foreign characters in it. It could be non-typical ASCII characters, right? So you have to take that into consideration. To mitigate that, you have to explicitly say that this is a unsigned integer kind of thing, right? So the way to do it would be to add the, you have to import IO, and then over here before as you open up, you just have to say that it is actually a UTF, the encoder type, I guess here. So the way you do it is you encoding equal UTF-8. Yeah, just like that. You just have to tell them that. Save it and try to run it. But this time around, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try running from the DOS prompt. So I'm just going to, I just saved it. I'm just going to exit out of this guy here. Go to desktop. Go to X and directory. Right, so Python SCR, and you run it. You see it works fine. You can see this thing came on here. So now if you double click to open it, you can see they're in a weird format. So I forgot to put a new line. So it's gonna close it, don't save it. Just delete this guy for now. So what happened was that I forgot to add a new line. So we gotta introduce a new line here on the header, so that it goes to a new line, and that also applies to your the adding of the original line here. So you go plus new line, just like that. Okay, just keep an eye on this guy here. It's gonna save this, open, run it, and you can see that your mine data, it's gonna bold it here. There you go. These are everything from the web page there. So the problem that you were getting was with this funny looking characters, right? There's a few characters that's not standard, I guess. So yeah. Anyway, that's web scraping in a nutshell using Python and Beautifulsoup. Drop a line, leave a comment if you have any questions. Love to help you guys out. Well, you have a good day. Take care. Bye.